Hi ladies and gentlemen, I thought maybe I should just try and make a recording of our battle against OP and see, whoops, if I can offer my own view on things and maybe specifically where we could have just lost the entire thing in one go. Okay. So we're deploying, I mean, hindsight, we know that the entire enemy team is going for B and C. Nothing special so far. Alright, just send some torpedoes out just because at this point we figured out that they were going to be clustering around here. I thought maybe I might be able to catch somebody off guard. And from the stream I know that that's not actually so far off. There were potential targets there, they just didn't happen to hit quite the right timing for those torps. And we are about to get to the point where I get spotted and their entire team starts shooting at me, which I survive basically through a mixture of luck and maybe a little bit of skill, knowing how to move. Being patient with my repair here. Very patient with my repair. Alright, time to bug off. There we go. Found that at the right time. So obviously we've managed to avoid the first situation where I would have just been forced to completely give up cap for the rest of the game. I am taking a shot at the Shimakaze here specifically because I want them to keep their attention on me rather than you guys, so they wouldn't realize that you are actually pushing in through A. And I do take some return fire, but nothing I can't repair. Maybe I could have done this slightly better. So who hits me? Right over there, somebody over there. The Stalingrad, I think, is the one that hit me. Okay, so far so fine. That's not a lot of damage, and I took it on the broadside. That means that was mostly overpens. Didn't hurt too much. So this is just going to continue on for a while like this. There's not going to be anything happening. I need your tips, please, as to what I'm supposed to do in these kind of situations. I can't go in because I will get killed, and I'm basically just aimlessly diving back and forth. I'm thinking about looking towards the middle cap to see if they're trying to somehow get in behind us, maybe with the Grozovoi or something. That was my idea, my thinking here, that the Grozovoi might be trying to sneak around after the Stalingrad or something. Or maybe just get a couple torpedoes on the Yamato. But I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do here, like while waiting. There ought to be something I can do. Maybe you can give me some tips for that. At this point I'm simply just here to offer some spotting in both into B and into C. Mostly C because that's where most of the enemy is. And we're just waiting for our team to actually catch up, for our E team. Shimakaze. I was hoping to get shots, but no such luck. That's my fault, could have hit a lot harder there. Well, we got some reaction out of that. I was thinking that maybe I could have driven around here behind the island over. Let me see if I can get some highlighter here. I maybe could have driven around the island over here and maybe or taken a wider route and gotten the Shimakaze from behind. But I'm not sure if that would have worked or if that would have just gotten me killed between the two Henrys. Or maybe I would have just not shot anything and just continued the spotting. But again, I'm not sure if I would have actually been able to work anything over there. It's an option, I guess. I could have just tried it, but that might have also been the point where I just gave up my life before I even ever got C. Maybe I can have your opinions on that. So here I'm again just driving careful because of the radar and mixture of torpedoes, and I basically just wanna not die at this point. Most of the team is unspotted. That's probably because of my positioning. And I'm guessing a couple smokes over there that hide their team from our Shimakaze. Just trying to get some shots over there, didn't quite work. Maybe I should have pursued this more, but then again I needed to get back into C. Sadly out of range for the Shimakaze, but Sao should be able to kill her if everything goes well. So I was aware of these Shima torps, of course, and I think that's why I ended up getting killed, because I was not expecting another salvo of torps. That completely surprised me at the end. Still not sure about the Shimakaze legendary module, how to recognize if a Shima has it or not. Or if this was simply just a single launcher that was still left over from the double salvo. But I was feeling safe at this point, and I'm thinking that the biggest reason of my demise here coming up is that I was placed in front of the Stalingrad over here somewhere here. If I had gone instead and maybe gone over here, basically mirror position to the Shimakaze earlier over here, if I just gone to that side of the island, I would have been in line of fire for these ships, but I should have been able to escape that just to be safe again. Or maybe I could have just completely avoided fire. I'm not sure how those islands are built. Maybe if I'd gone over here, but then and it's constantly in danger of being raided, and that's why I tried to stay close over here where these ships down here couldn't shoot directly at me. And those are the torps that I'm speaking of, and I think they hit me because no, those are widespread torps. They were specifically aiming at me. I'm surprised that they actually got here so quick. I was actually thinking that I might need to move soon, but I didn't expect any torpedoes to come this quickly. And that's why they managed to actually get me in the end. Alright. So let's see if I'm making proper use of the vision I have now since I'm dead. I think what we need to practice is that teammates who are actually dead, they have a superior field of vision, obviously, with the with the possibility to just go above the clouds. We should actually figure out if we can make good use of that, because basically right now I'm just observing. I'm not actually helping you guys, I don't think. So this is a point where we could have actually lost the game despite our clear cap advantage. Their entire team is moving in a concerted effort to repel our boxing, and they are actually trading ships fairly well. If even one of you guys had managed to not keep the trades at least even, we would have lost this game from this point onward. It's actually clearer on the stream that we were watching of this game. So Kremlin, I figure, is probably moving on the wrong side of this island. If the Kremlin is moving over here, the Stalingrad has easy shots, which is exactly what we saw. If the Kremlin had moved, there you go. If the Kremlin had moved the other way around and maybe tried to get behind the Yamato, the Stalingrad would have had a harder time doing anything. So that is their mistake, and that's one of the bigger factors I attribute our victory to. Our Stalingrad also does very well in moving at the correct time to avoid those torpedoes. However, I want you to be aware that those torpedoes were probably in a concerted effort with the Kremlin. I think that the Kremlin was specifically moving on this side so that the Grozovoi would have an angle of attack on our Stalingrad or maybe our Smolensk. And the Kremlin probably moved specifically to bait out our Stalingrad, and the Grozovoi simply fucked up trajectory on the torpedoes. Or maybe he was too late on the torpedoes, or the Kremlin was too fast and they thought the torpedoes would be able to move to Stalingrad, who would be moving forward to intercept the Kremlin, but the Kremlin would actually, the torpedoes would hit the Stalingrad before she went around the corner. I'm guessing that's what they thought. Alright, so over there we have the Grozovoi and Henry. I'm guessing that Yan was very much aware that Grozovoi had used her torpedoes, so that's a good engagement. The streamers weren't aware, they didn't realize that those torpedoes going after the Stalingrad were the Grozovoi torpedoes. So that's the next fuck up. However, if and there's the game over. However, if the Grozovoi had done this a little bit smarter and maybe waited for another ship to be able to offer fire and just spot for that ship, that could have again been a point where we lost. I'm gonna go through the stream now, if we can find it. Let's see, watch it from another perspective. Where's the stream? I think in the lobby chat, that's where we had the this the one. Yep. All right. So here we are. Let's go forward a little bit.
Man, it's too late for radar, I guess.
Yep. Even if the radar is on that spot on the B cap, that's actually half shots unless you're at A, and it's too early in the game. So they got B.
Okay, our Grozovoi is almost in C, so he should be able to spot anyone who's there.
Really weird, really weird.
Gremlins.
That focus fire, bro. You see that
Yeah.
focus fire? That was all of them.
Lemming train style of push?
Yeah.
Really?
Lemming train,
Okay.
yes. Lemming train.
Okay.
They left a DD, cruiser, and a BB at B.
Oh,
And
Montana
everything
is
else.
spotted. We got the A cap freely then, but we
Yep.
have almost more forces on A side, so it's gonna take time. Henry, Stalin, Montana, another Henry, all of them is spotted.
Oh,
Shima is
Grozvoy
spotted. Okay.
So I think at this point, fucking darkness. Okay, I didn't want that. It's fairly obvious that their entire team is had it planned out that everybody would be in position to actually shoot at me, even split up on 2 caps as they are. They were specifically planning to have everybody be able to fire at one spot at the same time. So since we don't have that depth of planning, I think it's fairly obvious that they are a better team than us, even if we won. And I think we won because they weren't able to capitalize on the strength of their plans. So they basically gave the victory. We didn't earn the victory. They gave it to us, is what I feel, because they fucked up on their planning. They gave up the victory, not that we earned it. That's my feeling on this battle.
There's a lot of cells going for that Grozvoy, bro.
Ooh.
Oh, half his HP gone.
Yeah, true.
Look at the focus fire. Look at the focus fire of.
And more to
OP.
come, I
Look
guess.
Yep.
Whoa. We just saw
Yeah,
all the team right now.
Yeah.
You can really see the positioning on their entire team. They are specifically placed in such a way that they can fire on one spot at the same time, everybody. And that takes a depth of planning that we do not have. And I don't think I can actually suggest that we take this kind of positioning, because it did lose them their game. This kind of plan always hinges on succeeding in the current plan, and they didn't on multiple occasions. If they had succeeded more often in what they were trying to do, I think they would have won this game. But they just kept failing, and I'm not sure if that's because they're inexperienced in doing this kind of thing or whatever. I don't know. OP. If they had stuck to our normal game, splitting up 2 teams, one here, one there, they probably would have taken us for the spin, right? Because they aren't exactly incapable individually. We aren't either. We went with a safe plan that anybody can fit their own role into. And that's what I meant yesterday in team chat when I said that we might have been individually better, individually capable, but as a team, we don't have the depth of our opponent team right now, right? We just don't have the same ideas thought out as they do, and they really went far into it, as you can see in just this setup. I mean, you've got to manage that first, right? Put an entire team over 2 cups, still in such a way that everybody can hit everybody, and nobody of them is in a solid line of crossfire for us, right? There's nobody on their team that we can effectively attack right now, even with all the visible targets. That takes some fucking planning and doing. We don't have that. That's why I'm saying.
I guess except one. Kremlin.
That was
Where is it?
That's why I'm saying that I think they are a better team, even if individually we are probably just as capable.
Kremlin is.
That focus fire, bro. You see that
Yeah.
focus fire? That was their plan. Get the Grozvoy, get the DD out of the game.
But
Shima though is losing.
But the
HP.
good thing is, Shima loses his HP. He cannot get it back, or Grozvoy can. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yep.
I mean.
Grozvoy can heal. Shima doesn't.
So they know.
Grozvoy is shooting in the open. Wow.
They know we spotted everyone, so our team is able to, do some new tactics. They're pushing from A hard now.
Yep. OP
Let's
needs
see.
to react, and what's the push to victory team needs to not just harass B, because everyone is healthy still. So if you push one by one in B, you're gonna die.
True, true.
And if OP gets hold of the C cap, it's gonna be even easier to defend 2 caps than Push to Victory has like 3 caps to just. No, 2
Zhao
caps
is
to.
just harassing that Stalin Phoenix
Yeah.
behind that island, and he's unspotted now.
Maybe that's why they left the A cap, because it's further away, and
Yeah,
if you
B
control
and
B and
C
the
is
C,
closer. True. Yeah, I just wonder what's gonna happen, but our Shima is getting closer and closer to that Kremlin. It's like 7 kilometers now, and
yeah,
getting
Kremlin
closer.
has no idea. He's just in a kiting position.
Okay,
Nothing to shoot at.
Shima just dropped 10 torps, 2 set. One is
So by the fact that everybody on the team is spotted, they obviously know that the Shima is somewhere near enough to actually spot all of them. That's why I suppose that their Krossovoy came back and was somewhere in this location. Fucking pins, okay, somewhere in this location to actually spot the torpedoes coming in, right? I even think that they specifically placed the Krossovoy over there to spot torpedoes, not to spot the Shimakaze, because that would have been overextending. Yeah, that's my thought right now. I wouldn't put it past him to actually think that far ahead. Don't actually spot the Shimakaze, just make sure the Shimakaze can't do damage. I wouldn't be surprised if that was their thinking at this point.
Now that they're pinging RPFs on the Kremlin,
okay.
they're pinging RPFs. Who's pinging? Yep.
The torpedoes might be actually, hurtful for Smolensk, I believe.
Oh, they spotted the torps from the Sima. Grozovoi spotted the torps.
On the
The
Des Moines
points-
side, you mean?
Yep, yep.
Okay then. Smolensk can run away.
Oh, the Henry's broadside Kremlin fired at him. A bit too in the back, he overpanned.
Okay, Shima is spotted right now. Radar is on by Stalin. But only Stalin has the shots on him, I guess. Yeah.
Slight mistake in the positioning by the Shima, but I'm thinking that if I were the Shima, I would have tried to bait out the radar first by just going somewhere over here and fucking pin again. Damn it. Somewhere over here and trying to bait out the radar. And once the radar had ticked off, I would have gone around and done the Shima thing. I think that was a mistake at this point that he went directly for the cap, but then again, let's see, maybe there was a plan for that. Maybe he's planning to do something with this positioning and the fact that he got spotted right now. Maybe he's trying to do some psychological warfare here.
On the other side, what's happening? Is he gonna take a torp?
Smolensk.
No.
Looks like he will evade. And he had some unfortunate overpans.
Oh, Stalin? No, he's okay. No range. Right, let's see. 6K.
That was a small point again. I am curious if that Stalingrad knew that your torpedoes would take out before they hit, or if he was basically caught cold-footed and just had a lot of luck. I wonder if he figured that he wouldn't be hit because of the range. What information he used to gain that knowledge. Because our Shima hadn't been spotted at this point, right? They didn't know exactly how far this Shima was, so maybe I'm giving them too much credit. But the Stalingrad didn't really move much from the point that the torpedoes were spotted, and this has been long enough that the Stalingrad could have actually just moved away at this point. At least somewhat moved away. Or maybe he figured, okay, take a torpedo, survive. Because if he had moved, eventually he would have been out in a position where he might have taken some crossfire, and he figured a torpedo would still be less damage than the crossfire. I'm not sure. That's probably the most logical decision to be made here. And if he thought that deep about it, that's one hell of a player, because I know that I wouldn't be calm enough to make such an involved decision at this in that frame of time, I don't think.
Shima.
Yep. They're trying to react to the Shima now because they're spotted from backs and they still haven't got control of C-cap. So
Oh,
their plan is
we
crumbling.
spotted some torps right now. Just
Oh,
on one
Shima
set.
spotted. Shima spotted with the girls were there. Can see some
Okay.
gunfight.
Let's see what's gonna happen because Shima has no backup. I mean, he has, but they're far.
Yep. Des Moines raidered him. Grozov was smoked up.
Half his HP is gone already.
Yeah, I don't know why the Grozov used his smoke though. You could just gun him down.
Oh, everybody's shooting him. 10k and a fire on him.
So that's the Des Moines raider down on B-cap. Shima can come back in.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the crossover smoked up. It didn't make much sense. I would have just gunboated it there. And I probably would have gotten the kill on our Shima there if I were the crossover. I would have probably actually told you guys to focus on the Henry while I whittled down the Shima. That way I would have had maximized chance of surviving. Hoping that one of you guys managed to Citadel the Henry hard enough to actually make him aim worse and psychological pressure and stuff. That would have given me the endurance to actually kill that Shima before I got killed by the Henry. I would not have smoked here unless it was necessary for my survival.
And Raging Sushi at sea, he's being blind fired, I think. They tried to blind fire him. But he got the cap. The cap is theirs. But they're boxed. You see what I'm talking about? You leave one flank open and you get boxed easy.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
them.
They're coming from all ways.
Now they need to react fast. Yeah.
So like the stream was saying, this is the point where we'll start seeing their team finish formulating the plan and actually putting it into action. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you need to react like super fast. Cause
Our Stalin and Smolensk is still far behind because they were in like a 2-line, so they had a lot of time to come here, and they just managed that.
Stalin is pushing in. He knows that nobody's at the B cap, so he's just pushing in, getting their broadsides. Doesn't even need to shoot. He just needs to find the rock to put his ship in, get the cap, and
Oh,
get
Henry
away with it.
is.
Oh,
How is he dead? I haven't seen it.
he was low.
Okay.
He was low.
Okay.
He was sitting on 8k and.
Oh, Shima is also spotted. That could be his
Shima?
end. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Raging Sushi.
How was he spotted? By what?
Radar.
Oh, 12 kilometers.
What was the idea behind the radar? I mean, it got us the Shimakaze kill, so it's a good radar, but you couldn't have known that, could you? What was it? The torpedoes? Did the torpedoes make you think the Shima was close enough to be radared because of 12-kilometer range, or? But then that's like the edge of your radar. That'd be interesting. I mean, it was a good radar because it got us the Shimakaze, but based on what? Or no, wait, the Shimakaze died later because I'm not dead yet. Sorry. Why did you radar here?
He should be out.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
out now.
he lost. Yep.
Yeah, let's see, Des Moines lost a lot of HP, so Yamato is also pushing, so I think that Des Moines doesn't have any chance.
Des Moines is half, yes. He needs to just. He has the legendary, so.
I mean, yeah.
At this point, maybe I should have indeed gone around and tried to HE spam the Des Moines down. I mean, the island over here is kind of in the way. That island is kind of in the way from over there to shoot over here. Wasn't any spotting anymore either. But I think this is also the point where I'm going for cap on C anyway, so I think that's fine.
Alright. true. They're boxed.
Oh, wrong turn.
They're boxed. Too bad.
He beats the Des Moines beach there. Now he needs to go
Oh,
forward
he's not
again.
spotted actually right now.
Yeah, but he needs to maneuver out and he can't.
Yamato looking for some.
Also, I think
Some
his
angles.
gun, his front gun is broken. Our Des
Is it?
Moines. Yeah, his
Ah,
front
yeah,
gun, I
might
think
be.
it's just totally.
I like the positioning of our Yamato in Stalingrad. This is actually a small version that allows for crossfire, and which we see happening with the Kremlin, right? This is a good positioning. I'm not sure if both of you took it specifically for that reason, or if you were just intuitively aware of it, but this is a very strong position that we'll want to remember. If you have them boxed in, if there is no enemy down here anymore, if there is no enemy anywhere down here, this is a strong position. These two islands together with either two battleships or two Stalingrads or battleship in Stalingrad or any other tanky ships that have huge alpha are. This is a good position to get crossfire in tight quarters, I think.
Yeah.
Destroy. It's
Okay, Yamato shot him. Let's see.
Oh,
Something
is
like 6, 7. All right.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah, my bad. If he pushes further back, the Henry get his broadside.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, also
Alright.
Smolensk is there. He might.
You
get
hydra
some
the
stuff.
Shima now.
Huh. Yeah, he's pretty close. But we also about to get C-cap. That's.
Okay, we know those were crossover torpedoes over there because the Shimakaze is going to kill me in a moment, and that's probably a little bit later on. That'll be basically the death of the Grozovoi. The fact that our Henry knew he didn't have torpedoes, I think. Also, that's I think gonna be another 2 or 3 minutes. He's gonna shoot one more salvo at our Stalingrad, I think.
Yep.
Pretty much end of it, I guess.
End of the game. Yep.
True.
They go
They're boxed so badly.
Yep. They boxed and they can't.
Oh, Shima got Grozo.
Yeah.
Right after.
But even now, they just can't. There's 4 ships inside B cap. A cap is out of reach.
Other Shima is about to die. I mean, our Shima is almost dead.
Yeah. They need to get the kills.
Yeah, he dead.
He's dead.
Des Moines is okay.
This is the point where they could have turned it around. They took out both of our DDs. If any of us had made a mistake at this point, we might have still lost it. This game. Having basically no torpedo boats on our side anymore meant that they were free to move as they wanted, right? If they had just... Basically, if the Kremlin and the Grozovoi combined tactics of torpedoing Stalingrad and pushing into Yamato had worked probably as they envisioned it, we would have lost. If the Kremlin, if they hadn't risked this high risk, high reward tactic and the Kremlin had instead gone around and gotten the rear of our Yamato, which has weaker armor and worse armor angling than the bow, he could have just taken our Yamato out in one salvo probably, maybe 2, maybe 3. And the Grozovoi would have just kept the Stalingrad spotted and the Henry spotted if he hadn't actually tried to get so close. I still don't know why he got so close to the Henry. I'm not sure why that happened. Anyway, if the Kremlin had gone around, they might have been able to make something happen over here with the Smolensk shelling the Stalingrad to death. Sorry. And not push it to sea, obviously, because that's where we were. Just keeping it on one side. Take out the Yamato, take out the Stalingrad, maybe with torpedoes, maybe with Smolensk shelling, and just be patient because we only have a small point advantage at this point, right? There's still at least 3 minutes in the game, and that's only because we have all 3 caps. If they just get the Kremlin into B up here, yeah, up here, the Kremlin doesn't even have to line a fire on the Yamato just yet. Just up here we'll already block B, and that means we'll take, I don't know, 5 minutes instead of 3 to win. They could have been a lot more patient and still won against us.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Overmatched.
He's no good. He's no good. But it's we have the caps. That's true, but no.
Yeah,
It's,
they
they
can't.
have
They
to
can't.
push hard
Yeah,
from
bro, they can't. There's no
some
way.
side.
Yamato is full HP on the C cap. Zhao's full HP. Stalin is
Those
full
may have
HP. No, Stalin
been
is
shimmer
23k.
tops, I'm
Sorry.
not sure.
But they have 3 ships inside.
Here
B
goes
caps.
radar.
They can't,
Stalin
they can't.
radar. Everybody is in
Or maybe
range.
the worst one is tops, I guess.
The other Stalin also radared for Tsushima, I guess. Let's see what's
Shima
going on
is
there.
Yeah, those were smallest tops.
almost 3k HP.
One.
Oh, had some weird freezes on my.
Oh god.
There we go, bad position
Nice shot
by
by
the
the
Shima.
Yamato. Also, I got some weird freezes, man.
There's no reason for the Shima to be there really. Except
Training.
for spotting, and I was
My game
too
froze
dangerous at
for
this
like
point with
3
that
more
health.
seconds. Okay. Now they're selling down the Henry, but I think it's
Zhao actually did a pretty good job. He just delayed them, you know, or how do you say,
I wouldn't have
annoyed
gone-
them a lot. Like a lot of fire.
In their place, I wouldn't have gone after C here. I would have just made sure that we couldn't go past C. And I would have taken care of these 2 or 3 ships over here first. Made sure that this flank was weaker, take B, and then find a way to box in us at C.
Some damage stuff. Also Henry did the same thing on the other side. Yeah.
I mean, they still have 2
their
minutes
plan was
time
to
right
just
now.
push
Kremlin
the
is
double
pushing in.
Henry.
Okay. I mean, it was their only choice, I guess. Like, let's push in.
Yeah, he needs to block the cap fast, maybe get some
And
kills.
also from the other side, Stalin, Montana, they're pushing in. Okay, let's see what we're gonna see now.
There with
Alright, this is another quick edit to the video. I wanted to talk about one more small, very big fact actually that I noticed while rewatching this video for quality checking, and that is that
the Kremlin.
I think the entire plan, fucking where's my pen? There. The entire plan was to of this exercise was to actually, let me go back for better vision.
Just go for the and ram him because
There with the
HP.
See,
Ah,
this'll work. Yep, this'll work. So the entire idea here, I think, was the Kremlin pushes up intentionally on this side of the island so that the Yamato is forced backwards. With the Montana and the Stalingrad coming around here, they have clear crossfire on the side of the Yamato. They can kill the Yamato, which is basically our anchor in this half of the team, right? If our Yamato disappears here, we haven't got anything to actually to stop them from moving around, to stop them from capping C. And I'm thinking that Grozovaya was originally planning to somehow, I don't know, go around and get A, couldn't go this way because our Stalingrad might have just raided him over here if he tried to take the short quick route. So I'm guessing he was trying to move around, and maybe if the Henry was moving downwards or something, he suddenly noticed he didn't have that ability anymore. But he should have been aware of that, because he can see he can spot already the Henry at this point, right? He's close enough to spot the Henry without getting spotted. I don't understand why the Grozovoi died. That is one big mistake that lost him at least the chance at correcting their mistake with Kremlin, right? I don't know if they could have done anything anymore at this point. Maybe they were just trying to finish it fast, and that's why the Grozovoi died. But I don't get what's going on down here. I'm just going to say that's one big huge mistake, and the Smolensk would have had the time to kill the Henry before the Grozovoi ever got spotted if they'd done that correctly. Okay, so the idea here was with the whole tactic, and that's actually really scary. Push out the Yamato backwards, have the Stalingrad and the Montana citadel the Yamato. The Kremlin should have weathered the Stalingrad, or not even weathered, because that obviously can't happen with a Stalingrad, but the Kremlin would bait the Stalingrad, and the Grozovoi torpedoes would kill the Stalingrad. That is a fucking involved plan. Think about this. You have every single ship used in the best way possible. They just didn't quite make it work correctly. You have a Grozovoi going for A, while spotting the Henry for the Smolensk, while also torpedoing the Stalingrad. You have the Smolensk, which is a fragile ship, taking down the only opponent it safely can, which is the Henry or the Stalingrad. You have a Kremlin forcing the Yamato to move backwards, and you have two high AP penetration ships just murdering the Yamato from the side. Meanwhile, you also have Henry down here, I think that is a Henry, burning down the Stalingrad over here, and maybe scaring the Sao and Yamato over here. But because these two ships are angled this way, the Yamato can't just kill them instantly unless she gets very lucky, which is possible but unlikely. So they at least have enough time to kill the Yamato while also blocking this cap, or taking this cap, which they managed to do at this point, right? We don't have anything to actually return this cap, but let's say that hadn't worked out for the Stalingrad, they would still be blocking this cap and we wouldn't be getting any points out of it. The Grozovoi would make its way around to A, and we would probably have the Kremlin inside B. That's a perfect fucking plan if they individually can make it happen. They didn't. I'm not kidding you. We were that close to defeat. That's what we are going to be facing, right? That's what we need to learn to anticipate. And I won't say that we will be able to make use of such tactics quick enough to be able to use them in this King of the Sea tournament. But we need to be able to see those tactics happening, and we need to be able to avoid those tactics with more than just pure luck. And I'm going to guess that the Stalingrad dodging the torps over here,
I don't think he could make
was more luck than skill, right?
the turn there with
Alright, that's it from me.
The other side, Stalin, Montana, they're pushing in. Okay, let's see what we're gonna see now. This might end up interesting, to be honest. Montana trying to find an angle on Stalin, or just going for Mato.
Kremlin shooting the Smolensk.
Oh, is he gonna ram? No, he breached there. Alright, yes.
No.
But it's...
So that would have been interesting. Was he planning on the ram and he misjudged his maneuverability, or was he actually really just planning to be a danger to our Yamato? And the only reason he would have been here is if either he fucked up or he was expecting the Stalingrad to be killed before the Stalingrad could kill him. high risk, high reward, basically, right?
It's a bad position to breach because Stalin is coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Big salvo.
Yeah.
There's another question I have. I haven't played Stalingrad until now. I haven't played Moscow, so I don't know. Is the salvo rare against battleships at this range? Like, do you usually, is it normal that or can you expect it to actually be able to kill a battleship in the side from, I don't know, quarter HP with one salvo, or is that something that doesn't happen very often? Like if it's not a Republic, or is it if it's not a Conqueror or something? Like against a GK, obviously that wouldn't have happened. Against a Kreml, I don't know. Against a Yamato, it might have happened. I'm not sure. Probably would have, because Yamato has kind of terrible armor, broadside on. Were you expecting to be able to kill that Kremlin with one salvo, or were you expecting to actually have like a slugging match here? And again, if you had been any slower, those torpedoes might have killed you. Even Grozovoi tops might have actually done enough damage to you that the Kremlin might have just been able to kill you with secondaries or something.
That was a big salvo.
I mean, actually, what I would do is just go for the Yamato and ram him because he's full HP.
I don't think he could make the turn there with Kremlin. Maybe, but I don't know. Points are ticking. They can't block the A cap, so it should be over by point.
I mean, I would really not put it past the Kremlin to win against the Yamato when the Yamato is full health and the Kremlin is a quarter health in close quarters battles. I would not at all be surprised. It would be shitty, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Kremlin could have killed you there if he had been able to actually properly engage in close quarters battle. If he hadn't run aground or something, if the Stalingrad hadn't killed him, I would not at all. I would say it's maybe 50-50 that you wouldn't have been able to kill him before he killed you. Because all he needs against the Yamato is one good salvo, right? With the Yamato, yes, you have overmatch, but then again, this is the Kremlin we're talking about. And you only have 2 turrets at this point aimed at him. And if I were the Kremlin, I wouldn't go for the ram here. I would be trying to kill you, but then again, I don't have the Kremlin, so I don't know enough about the ship to make more than a guess here.
Anyway,
true.
Stalin
it's just saying 15 seconds.
No, Stalin will die now.
Okay, yeah. Late.
This is the other part where we could have lost if again the Kremlin hadn't died so easily. The Montana wouldn't be free at all to go. Our Yamato wouldn't be free at all to go after the Montana or the Stalingrad or whatever your choice would have been at this point. Montana obviously is the right choice, but yeah. We weren't away from defeat more than just split seconds here and there, really, right? We could have lost this at any time if they had made slightly less mistakes as a team, and if we had done individually, because we were basically playing mostly yes, of course, positioning to each other matters, but we don't have the same depth of teamwork as this team had, right? So that's why I'm saying that individually we were just as competent, and that's what won us the game. But individually they didn't make many mistakes. They just made a mistake in the teamwork stuff that didn't work out, like the torpedo strike on the Stalingrad before it killed the Kremlin just did not work out. If it had, it would have looked different at that point. And at this point too now, with the Yamato being free to Citadel the Montana or shoot at the Stalingrad, stuff was, we could have lost at any point really here if just a few things had gone differently. Like this
Oh,
wasn't
oh,
the
alright.
deciding
The other
game at this
Stalin gonna
point.
die? I don't think
Henry
so.
is
Oh well,
low.
at this point it was because
Oh,
the
what
Kremlin
happened
died,
to that
but
Gross
a
with
couple
her?
seconds
What's she
before,
doing?
right?
Rushing Henry?
What the hell?
And Grozovoi
Tor,
is just
Tor,
killing
Tor, Tor.
herself. I'm not sure what the Grozovoi is trying to do.
What?
That's an end game.
I didn't see what happened there, but wow. Yeah, that's game over.
Yeah. Well played both sides. I mean, yeah, the only unfortunate thing, or I don't know what it.
Big salvo.
Can see the Grozovoi at this point has still full HP.
I mean, it
Everyone,
actually, what I would do is just go for the Yamato and ram him because he's full HP.
I don't think he could make the turn there with Kremlin. Maybe, but I don't know. Points are ticking.
That was good splitting of the rear and the front turrets by the Yamato, the rear turret at the Stalingrad, the two front turrets at the Montana, making full use of your capabilities. I like that.
They can't
The Grozovoi
block the A
is now
cap, so
popping
it
up
should be over by
and
points.
is starting to lose a lot of
Anyway,
health
true.
really quickly.
Stalin is
It's
going
just
down.
saying 15
Oh.
seconds.
No, Stalin will die now.
What was the fucking logic on the
No.
Grozovoi
Okay, yeah.
gunbolting
Eight.
against a fucking Henry in close quarters?
alright.
The other Stalin gonna die?
The Henry has torpedoes, the
I don't
Grozovoi
think
just
so.
gave him up.
Is low. Oh, what happened to that Gross with her? What's she doing? Rushing Henry?
What the hell?
The Smolensky's
Tor,
also in a
Tor,
kinda
Tor, Tor.
useless position.
Oh,
that
what?
over here.
That's an end game.
I didn't see what happened
Maybe they
there,
were
but
hoping that Smolensk and
wow.
Grozovoi
Yeah, that's
together.
game over.
Yeah.
Maybe they were hoping that the Smolensk and the Grozovoi together would be able to kill the Henry before the Henry killed the Grozovoi. But again, the Henry has torpedoes and they know that. And the Grozovoi gave him up and we know that, and they know we know. Nah, I would have just stayed stealthy as the Grozovoi and spotted for the Smolensk. That's what I would have done. Maybe it chipped in at the last 10,000 health to just get the Henry killed a little bit quicker. What I didn't see is if maybe our Stalingrad raided the Grozovoi. There could have been enough distance from over there, from over here somewhere to over here. There could have been enough distance for a radar. Is that what happened? Alright. That's it from me. My entire conclusion of this particular battle is that we won because the enemy didn't manage to actually fulfill their goals. They failed to complete what they set out to accomplish, and that's why we won. Well, obviously because individually we are not incompetent, we are not Venoms, so most of us, excluding me, aren't going to die to stupid shit. And that basically broke their back at the end. It's not because we are such an amazing team at teamwork. We are better than average, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't have made it through the qualifiers. But we don't have what OP has at this point. And I'm not saying that we should. It's just that we need to understand that there are going to be teams that do have that kind of option, and we need to be more vigilant against possibilities like that, because they can break our back if they play the cards right, and OP just didn't. That's why they lost. They didn't lose because we are the better team. They just lost because they fucked up. Be interesting to have another matchup against OP, or a couple of matches, and see what comes out at the end. Maybe that's something we should just do this week. Try and get some training battles out of OP. I don't know. Alright, thanks for watching.